from next year until like 5 to 10 years from now, the scene of fashion and the way we design, produce, and sell in the EU at least will be completely different. This is the level that is available to people that are in small and medium businesses. It is not enough for them to survive. So we wanted to come in to create this resource, to have it accessible and free for everybody, and to help them transition. If we started now, right, a few years ahead, then you would still have time to learn and to think about how to apply, to try to find the right consultants, to try to find the right people to help you.
If you met somebody who doesn't have any idea what you do and you're trying to introduce yourself to them just so they get to know you with regards to your career, how would you introduce yourself?
So first of all, my name is Emma. A person that is basically passion, like her passion is in fashion and sustainability, and everything that I do combines the two aspects of my passion. I work in an NGO, and our NGO is about education for sustainability, where we create different educational projects in different fields that have something to do with sustainability. And we create different ways to teach people different materials, different platforms, courses, tools, and such in order to bring this information to the audience. This can be specific industry audience, or it could be the general public, the consumers, depending on the project. And I am actually a textile engineer. So this is my background. I am a textile engineer as of my studies. And I work for a textile recycling company where I do everything that is about the research and the way that we manage our operations. So how we select the fibers, how we mix them, and yeah, everything that has to do with the technical part of running this kind of business. But yeah, basically, this is what I try to do. And my main focus is just to bring this information to as many people as possible, to raise awareness, to educate, and to make people understand that the only way that we will survive in this world is to be mindful of our actions, and that everybody's actions and decisions have power, no matter how small we think it is.
So you have expressed what we all know in a totally different way. You just said it right now that our decisions can actually change the world. So what you're trying to say is that what we choose to do or what we choose not to do can determine how we get to survive on the planet. And that's like, a totally new and fresh way to sum up the whole thing that the planet depends on us, to continue to be what it is for us.
Exactly. And the power is in the numbers, because I hear this a lot from everybody. Like they say, "Oh, what does it matter if I don't buy one thing that is fast fashion? Or what does it matter if I close the light bulb? What does it matter if I don't use water while I'm brushing my teeth?" Well, it matters, because if everybody on the planet would do the same, then imagine how much water you would save, you know? So everything matters. Everything matters. Imagine if people would stop buying from Shane. Everybody would just collectively stop buying from Shane for 3 months. Shane will not have a business anymore.
So how Mhm. how did you learn about sustainability, especially in the fashion industry? And when did you decide that you were going to pursue a path in that direction?
Well, I did have my education. So I'm from Romania, but I did study in the Netherlands. And the Netherlands has a very strong focus on sustainability in their educational path. And the way that they teach basically everything, even if it's not like a sustainability related topic or industry or such, you still get the terms of sustainability in your education. So they apply sustainability to everything, and they challenge you as a student to think holistically and always consider the factor of sustainability in everything that you do. So this is where the strong focus started, and this is where basically I decided this will be one of the things that I will do in my life. But actually, my story with sustainability starts much earlier than this, because my mother, she is a sustainability consultant, so I've been hearing about this since I was a very little kid. And I really liked it. So I was always mindful, let's say, and I was always trying to tell my friends and my peers, like, hey, stop using so many towels when you wash your hands, or stop using water for no reason. And nobody would, of course, listen to me because they were like, why would I do that? You're just a stupid kid. But I was always interested in this, and when I finished my university, I actually had to convince my mom for I think about like 3 or 4 months to let me work for her because she has the NGO, so it's a family owned business. um, she has the NGO, and she did the sustainability education project. Of course, not in fashion, but in different areas. And I was just pestering her constantly, saying, "Hey, I could bring a lot of things to your business. If we could work together, it would be great." And she was very like, she was very, scared to do this because mother daughter relationship can be quite troublesome sometimes. But in the end, she finally got convinced by me, and now it's been almost 4 years that we've been working together.
Hmm. What is it? What is it about you? What is it about your personality that makes it so easy for you to stay on the part of sustainability in the fashion industry? I mean, why didn't you consider working with a big conventional brand? Obviously, you're gonna make more money from that, right? So, what is it about you that just made you say, you know what? No, 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 no. I'm gonna stick in the sustainability space.
It's a good question. Actually, I worked for a big brand before, and I hated it. So I absolutely hated the corporate lifestyle and the way that they are very rigid. Even though you work as a designer in fashion, and you would think this is the most creative job in the world, if you go work for a big brand, it is really not. So they managed to turn something that is so beautiful and so expressive and so creative into a robotic job. So it's soulless. It's very money oriented. They don't care about their impact. They don't care what they do, and they just care about making the money and having the least responsibilities. So they copy paste everything they can. They make it mechanical. They don't really. It's so soulless. And I'm a very sensitive person, and I am very creative, and also like quite spontaneous, I would say.
So, are you trying to say that being in the sustainable space is much more, you find it more creative, or in actual sense, what is inspiring you is the fact that you're able to do this in line with your mother's NGO, which gives you the leverage to express your creativity?
I would say both. So, because sustainability requires creative solutions, it requires thinking out of the box, and it's challenging, and this is something that everybody, like designers, consultants, people that create strategies and so on, they're all forced to apply this kind of principle. And of course, sustainability also implies caring. So, some degree of awareness and caring about the people around you, about the environment. And it requires a sort of profile of person that is more open, that is, nicer, more sensitive, more creative, more empathic. And this is something important, I would say, in the type of job that you choose. When you're just the person that produces money, usually you are not that sensitive and you're not that creative. You're rougher around the edges, you're tougher, you are, you know, colder if you're not interested in like caring about the impact that you have. Yeah.
So, at what point did you start incorporating AI into your training?
Well, this project, the IG Fashion project, is the last project that we have received funding for. Um, it was actually right after. So I am coordinating this project. Usually in this kind of projects, we have more countries, more partners from different countries from the European Union. And in this case, we are the coordinating partner. And before this project, we had one project that had a very similar aspect. So it is about creating a learning platform and a course for designers, for people that work in the industry to learn how to become more creative, think circular, and design in a sustainable manner, but also run the business in a sustainable manner. And well, it was a very nice project, and we had quite good results. I would say it was lacking the interaction we see that people, at least in the European Union, they're quite saturated with looking on the internet and finding all sorts of courses, and everybody wants to train them. Everybody wants to teach them something, you know. So then you have to like make yourself stand out, and it's a huge competition. And then we thought, okay, let's take what we've done in the previous project, which was a massive amount of work, put everything into one course, and create something that is more interactive and more focused on the learner and their needs. So not just a course where you are looking at the PPT and you are, you know, taking notes and maybe making an exercise or two, but actually bringing something that allows them to ask questions. And because digitalization and AI is such a huge, huge topic right now, you know, we thought, why not to try this? We were approached by one of our long-term partners from Italy, and they said, "Hey, you know, we would really like to try the AI in education and to see if it makes a difference in the way that students approach the courses." And we responded to this challenge, and we said, "Okay, let's try it." So the AI part, it's not only integrated as so what it is now for us. We created a platform where we have taken four main topics in fashion right now. So it's textiles, it's the fashion design, it's fashion production, and it's legal, policies and just legal aspects. We have taken something. We have basically summarized the topics and the definitions for everything, and we have taken a lot of best practice examples to describe this kind of how to apply this kind of principle. You know, we actually look at businesses and we bring it to people. We show, hey, this is what they do. This is how you do it. If you want to try, of course, wait, but it's an example. And then we have a chatbot. So to this platform, everything is also encompassed in a chat box. And then a trainer would be able to go on the platform and say, hey, how do you suggest that I reduce weight? And then it answers based on the things that we have put on the platform. So this is something that shortens the time of the people. They don't have to click so much. They don't have to look for the information. They just ask, and then they get the information. Why use this and not ChatGPT? Let's say it's because this specific chatbot is trained to answer these specific questions. ChatGPT, it can answer, of course, it can answer anything, but you have to train it before in order to get a reliable answer. But the information that is put into our chatbot right now is reliable because it's already been filtered through the eyes and hands of experts. And we've also integrated practices that have to do with AI. So, how companies are integrating digitalization and AI into their practices. So, AI has a good practice as well in each of the topics that I mentioned before. So this is how we started, but I'm very curious to see where it will go, to be honest.
So, as you mean, I am a fashion designer and I need to learn some things about, sustainability in the fashion industry. I can just go to the IG fashion website or I search the chatbot and then I start asking my questions. And this chatbot gives me responses that, I could expect from an expert because it's trained and monitored by experts.
You would go to our website. You would get a whole course structure basically. So you would get a curriculum. You would get 4 chapters with sub chapters with all the information. So you could be able to read it yourself as well, with examples, with everything, with links, with resources, with exercises even. And then if this is not sufficient for you or you do not find the answer to your question, you also have the chatbots to ask this question. And the chatbot will answer in the means of the information that is on the platform. So let's say you have an issue about there's the new regulation in 2025, and you have a business and you are struggling to apply this regulation to your business. And you would go on the platform and you could see, okay, we have a chapter about legal requirements, right? You could be able to read about each of them. You could be able to even exercise and remember this information in an interactive manner, but you still do not know how to apply this in your business. But this is where you can ask the chatbot, how would you apply it to your business? And then the chatbot will take the information that is on the platform, it will, mix it up based on its algorithm, and it will give you an answer that is more tailored to your situation.
Okay. Okay. So I think it's beginning to make more sense. You have provided theoretical knowledge for business owners, right? But then there is also the aspect of putting knowledge to use. Knowledge is not everything. You have to be able to access knowledge for you to, get results and impact from it. So when they get to the point where you need to act on that knowledge, but they don't know how to start, they don't know how to apply. So that's the point where they get to the AI, and the AI helps them get some maybe like a roadmap where to start, what to do, and they can pick it up from there.
Yeah, and it would even show you some of the examples that are matching, because we are like really keen on putting examples in this project. It will show you, hey, look at this business. This is how they're doing it,
Okay.
and you can take a look at this, and it's easier to see it in practice rather than just theory, because theory is one thing, practice is completely different.
I agree with you totally. So when you went to the EU to get funds for this project, what exactly was the goal? What were you aiming to achieve with this project?
The context of this project was the fact that in the EU we will get some regulations as of next year that will be very, very, very different. It will change most of our fashion market. And okay, let's say it won't be. So next year, the revolution of fashion will happen. But from next year until like 5 to 10 years from now, the scene of fashion and the way we design, produce, and sell in the EU at least will be completely different. And then we thought, okay, we need to help businesses manage these changes. We need to give them means to learn how to apply these changes. Otherwise, they will disappear. Unfortunately. Because this is really hard, and it's going to ask a lot of them. And we're thinking more to the small and medium businesses, as fashion industry is dominated by small and medium industry businesses actually. And okay, a huge giant like Inditex, or a huge giant like whatever fast fashion, H&M and such brands, they will have resources to adapt, right? They will have the means to change and to make trainings and to make policy changes and blah 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 in their company. But a small and medium business, what will they do? How will they learn? They maybe will not have the means and not have the money and not have the resources to learn how to apply this stuff. So this is where we came in. So we tried to respond to this need of the industry. And of course, there's a lot of businesses that are already shifting anyways towards more sustainable practices. But a lot of them, so we noticed that a lot of them do not really know what they're talking about, because here in Romania, for example, we have an overwhelming majority of businesses that are trying to be sustainable that are saying, "Oh, we are using natural materials, so this is a sustainable business." No, it's not. So if this is the means that you have, and this is the level that is available to people that are in small and medium businesses, it is not enough for them to survive. So we wanted to come in to create this resource, to have it accessible and free for everybody, and to help them transition.
So you talked about a revolution that's going to happen in 2025, and that would really, really impact fashion, sustainable fashion brand, or let's say fashion brands generally in the EU. Okay, fashion generally. Okay, so what are some of these changes that the fashion industry should be anticipating?
Well, first of all, one huge one that started this year actually is the requirement of non-financial reporting. So ESG, if you know about this, this is a very specialized report showing the impact on environment, on social, and on governance of one business. They will be required to all have them. Now it's just the giants, but sooner or later, so by 2028, all businesses will have to do it. Then you will have the requirement to enter an RFID technology to have a digital passport to track every step that your product has been through before it comes to the consumers. So you will have one chip, like in very expensive bags and such, like big brands already have it. You have one chip to track and to see, okay, my shirt has been, the cotton has been collected in India, then it has been processed in Bangladesh, then it has been assembled in Vietnam, and then it came to Belgium to sit in the warehouse, and then it got delivered to Romania. So I can see where my shirt has been everywhere. So for them, this will be quite a big step. I would say it's a quite huge investment and everything for brands to have. And yeah, then other regulations requiring textiles that enter the EU will be harsher. So you will not be able to import stuff that has the chemicals. So you're not able to do it as of right now either, but they will get much more strict about this because products like Shein products, it's been shown that they have formaldehyde and these kind of substances in the clothing. This will be completely illegal. They will try to add a fast fashion tax on every single item that does not fit the bill of sustainability. Right now, they are applying it in France. So if you are ordering from Shein, you actually have to pay €5 for each item that is being brought into France. This will be the plan for most countries in EU, I would say. So these are quite big changes. These are quite huge changes that will require quite the transition from all the brands, I would say.
Okay, so this makes it even more easier for one to understand the project that you're working on, because what it means is what you're doing is you're preparing this fashion brands ahead of time for the change that is yet to be, finalized. Yes, orders are on the way, they're talking about it already, but they have not started implementing it or enforcing it on those businesses. So what you're doing right now is you're trying to help them to start making this transition early enough, one step at a time, so that by the time it becomes mandatory, they are already on a green check to start with.
Yeah, and they're prepared. Yes, exactly, exactly. Because it will happen. So, okay. I think that by 2030, every company will be required to have the RFID, and by 2028, every company that is above 10 employees will have to have an ESG report. So, yes, if we start now, we started the project in 2023 in November, so 2 years ago. And if we started now, right, a few years ahead, then you would still have time to learn and to think about how to apply, to try to find the right consultants, to try to find the right people to help you, still at a decent price, because we know that it's not easy to be a small business. And yeah, production costs are huge anyways. Labor costs are huge anyways. Time is extremely valuable for these kinds of brands. So we are trying to buy them time.
So I learned that you often offer your trainings to schools and VT trainers. Is that a special reason why you are focusing on schools?
So we are not only in school. So the thing is that these types of projects, the way that they are funded from the European Union, they are based on categories. So you would have projects that target vocational schools. You'd have projects that target just adults or just young people. And we found that we have the most success rates in applying in the category of VT schools. So that's why they are part of our target group. But we are not only focusing on VT schools. We have partners in our partnerships from Bulgaria, for example, that have. So they are VT schools. Of course, this is the easiest way to apply what we have created because they're part of the partnership and their interest is high. But we also try to go to universities. So we went to universities as well, to design universities, to fashion universities. We think that it is much easier to do this at the level of students rather than a person that's already been, in the work for a longer time. We find that younger people are much more easy to convince and to, And we find that people that have been in the industry for a while become quite closed off, and they do not want to change as much as the young people do. So that's why.
Let's talk more about, the change in the fashion landscape in the EU. So this changes, this new policies, this new standards and certifications that are required to operate for a small fashion brand that is, you know, say a minimum of 20 employees. How much do you think it would cost for them to outgrow their current conventional model and then embrace the new model that is being, you know, that is being enforced now?
I would say I can take the example of one of my good friends. She has a fashion label and she operates very sustainably. It's just her and one other person that is sewing. She is currently getting dead stock fabrics from different companies that do not sell their whole fabric. They don't use the whole fabric, so they just sell it on the aftermarket. And she uses this fabric to create her style. So she has limited styles in different types of fabric. And I would say that this kind of thinking of upcycling is actually costing much less to just buy directly the fabric that nobody's using, and just to create your stocks and your products based on the availability of your fabric actually saves you a lot of time and a lot of money. So this is one thing that a lot of people get scared about. Oh no, it's going to cost so much to change everything that we do. No, it's not. Sustainability is supposed to actually save you money. So this is one other thing that we want to teach businesses, that if they try to use the resources that they already have and that are closest to them, this is something that will be in the benefit of their company as well. Because right now, the changes that are implemented, they're not only going to affect the EU. You can imagine this because the EU is one of the most the strongest purchasing powers in the world, right? So after USA, it will change the whole world because the supply chain in Asia, is in Africa, is in other countries as well. So we do not produce in the EU. We barely produce in the EU. We produce mostly outside, and then we won't be able to work with the producers in the same way that we have been working. So then, trying to implement these kinds of changes at the systematic level, they will require quite some investments from the big companies because they will be the ones that will start, of course, and they produce outside. They will not move their production to Europe because the cost is too high. They will invest. They will invest in the companies, in the suppliers, to get them to a standard. And then the smaller businesses would probably go and work with the businesses that have already been, upgraded, let's say, with the suppliers that are in the standards. So it will bring these suppliers more money and more business. For smaller businesses, won't be a problem because they will probably change the supply chain based on the modes of the industry giants.
Mhm.
And if not, they will look at the resources to produce as much locally as possible, which will cut a lot of transportation costs. It will cut lead times and this kind of stuff. So in the end, it should not cost as much money for the small business. For the big businesses, they make a lot of money anyway, so it's time to give back after taking so much from the people and the environment. So I'm not empathizing with them and their costs. I am only empathizing with the small designers, I would say.
Okay. So I would really love that, we keep conversations around the aspect of changes, policy changes that are going to affect fashion brands, across the EU. So for now, for the resources that you already have that you are still updating, how would fashion entrepreneurs access those and then also get access to the courses and also access to the workshop?
You mean how many people come on the resources?
No, I mean like how would they access the resources?
Oh, well, so far actually we are required to have some quality evaluation and testing, actually quite extensive testing before we launch everything in every project that we have been so far. And so far, actually, results were quite great, I would say. Uh, Most people are very pleased So I'm talking about previous projects now because the IG Fashion project is actually in the final stage of development, and we are going to release the piloting in December. So I cannot say for now about this, but I hope the results will be good. But for the refashion projects, for example, for the previous project that I was mentioning, we have very good reviews. We went to university as well here in the city I live in, and we showed them the entire platform and the course, and we asked them to review it, and they've done the same in all partner countries, and we have gotten very good reviews because we try to. So I tried to, because I was the designer of the contents. I tried to make it as beautiful as possible. So really visually, aesthetically pleasing, easy to understand. And we have created it through a new platform. It's called Genially. And this kind of platform actually allows you to create interactive presentations where you can click inside and you can write inside of them, and you can put links and you can make stuff appear and disappear. And it's very nice, and people loved it. And this is something that we try to apply to every single project that we have, so we not think boring, repetitive information, not make slides with a million words on it, put pictures, make it beautiful, make it easy, make it fun. And this is something that people are recognizing, so I'm very happy about that.
Okay. So in that case, if someone is interested in learning more about changes that would impact fashion brands across the EU, how do they stay up to date? Because now you just said that IG Fashion is in the final developmental stage, which means, like you said, that you'll be releasing the pilot very soon. It's not released yet. So, because we want to ensure that as many people as possible are aware of what's going on and they are able to start, re-educating themselves so they can be better prepared for what's coming ahead for their organization. So, how do they stay up to date? Is it like they follow you, maybe your social media account, or they subscribe to something just so they know when the training or when the platform is finally open to the public?
We have social media for the project specifically. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, and LinkedIn. This is where we post constantly previews. We tell people when we are done. We tell people which stage we are at. But also, of course, our organizational pages from everybody. We are 7 partners, so each of the partners are also posting on their own social media in each country. So we try to get as much visibility as possible. We cross share and so on with our organizations and our partners. And we are also on EPEL, which is the platform of European Project News. We try to post there as well. And we are going to have a big conference in April. Where we are going to have press releases. There's going to be dissemination events in each country as well with press releases. We try to go to TV. We try to go to as many places that will have us. And so what we are doing, it's mostly I would say online media.
Business for a Better World podcast is brought to you by the Portio Satori Limited. Our goal with Portio Satori is to make the world a better place through the promotion of businesses that impact lives positively. We develop strategies to enable good businesses to be profitable, transgenerational, dominant in their niche, and supported by their customers. Visit www.portiosatori.com to learn more.